Right.
I felt like kind of a dick because one of the lineups was in one of the contests that Chris entered, so we had a duplicate lineup in the same contest.
It was all right. It worked out. I thought it would have been funny if I think that would have been. We would have had to talk about that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if we would have both got first, I would have probably had to ship you like most of that money back. So, and I would have too. Whatever the difference between first and second would have been, I'd have shipped it back to you.
I believe it was like a 3K, 1K, so we would have been at 2K each. Yeah. So it would have been. I mean, that would have been. It would have been a good problem to have. Let's put it that way.
Nah. And I'm an honorable man. I would have shipped $500 back at you. So, but yeah, whatever. We actually both won $60 that night. So, off that one lineup. So, whatever. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I've got a baseball lineup. I've got a hockey lineup in. Let's see, basketball's not till tomorrow, right? So I can't do basketball. I don't know. I really don't know anything about basketball.
Actually, I don't think basketball's not till like Friday or Saturday, is it?
Right. Hockey's tomorrow, right?
Hockey's tonight.
Oh. All right, I'm going to look at this PGA Tour thing here. See what this says. What this $1 million buy-in is. Oh, yes, $100 entry. Yeah, I won't be doing that. I could take a crack at the $10 100K to first. That's not bad.
Yeah, the U.S. Open. They cranked all the salaries. They cranked all the contests. Yeah, $10 100K to first. That's the one I'm going to play.
Yeah, that one's not bad.
Nah. Yeah, I ain't playing the Millionaire Maker. I don't have $100 to drop on golf.
No, I'm very bad at golf. I don't know if you guys have realized that yet.
Well, at least you have a system.
Yes, I have a beautiful system. It's very consistent.
By the way, does anybody have a beer?
I do not. I, of course, have another cold because that's been the theme of my year so far is these little mini colds. Pretty much every other week. It's been fabulous.
Yeah, I do not either, because I'm broadcasting from my office, and we cannot have alcohol on the premise.
Oh.
I don't work for a brewery anymore.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
What do you got there, Chris?
I do not have anything. I indulged in some box wine the last 2 nights, so I am I'm staying sober today. I got some water. Maybe I get crazy and get some cherry Pepsi. I don't know.
Wow, this is probably the most sober this show has ever been.
Yeah, I think so. Well, maybe we'll count on Adam. I think he was out playing golf today, so maybe he had a few beverages.
I think that was an important golf tournament, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought he was saying it was today, right? The Red Run.
Looked like it.
Yeah.
Hopefully he did well.
I hope that he did too.
So your boy Jim Furyk's at 25-1 odds.
Yeah, and Kevin Nas, priced properly too. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I think Kevin Nas only 7,700. I mean, that's really attractive.
Yeah, that is.
Not too bad at all.
I thought last week I was going to regret only putting the lineup in the contest with the draft for upside contest because my team was looking pretty stout after the first day, kind of faded the second day, and then Bazzelli just fell apart in the third day and made me feel good about my decision. Not regretful or remorseful or anything like that. I think he shot like a +7 or something. I didn't even ship our tournament. As a matter of fact, with that Webb Simpson, like a birdie chip on 18 to not only get the points for that, but get the tie for second. So Adam could displace me from first by 0.5 points. That's pretty brutal.
I actually played a variety of my team in a big tournament and won $10. So, and I ended up playing what's our tournament? $3. So I ended up playing $8 and won $12. It was my biggest golf win yet.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it was crazy.
The funny thing is, I typically do very well in golf, but when I bump it up beyond micro stakes, that's when it all falls apart. So I think the one or two times that I've gone heavily invested in golf this year were like two of my worst weeks. The other times when I just toy around and put maybe like $10, $15, I like double up. So I've got to figure out that happy medium. But maybe next golf season, maybe I'll build myself a little model like Mark's, and then just use my advanced relationships with Jim Furyk and Kevin Na to help guide my lineup construction.
So you don't want to build your models like mine.
Well, Mark, it sounds like your model's right half the time, so I've just got to build the model that's mirrors that half of your model, just not the other half.
Hey, it gets the easy picks right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes you just run like that. I had a run like very similar to that with the Houston Astros for the majority of this year, and I think what was it, like 2 nights ago or a night ago or something like that. I think I was heavy on the Astros, and I had them stacked up, and I think there were like 2 or 3 home runs from the 2 or 3 guys that weren't on my lineup, and I was just like, oh, I remember how this feels. It feels terrible. They've done it to me again.
So, Danger, I think we need a station identification.
Yes, we absolutely can handle that. You are listening to Draft for Upside, the wonderful craft beer loving drunken boys of Wednesday night 7 to 9 on the Legend Sports Network, which can be found on Lenny Melnick, FantasySports.com. Click on the listen/chat live button. You can chat and interact with all the hosts on all the live shows throughout the week. We've got 7 days a week of live shows starting at 9 a.m. every day with Lenny's daily podcast. It's Monday through Friday, and all kinds of great stuff. On Wednesdays, you get JJ Sports Talk, Tuesday through Fridays, but definitely on Wednesdays. Money One is twice as nice with Cam. A little sports betting action with that. You've got us from 7 to 9, Mets 360 with Brian Jora following us, and then a Fantasy Fan Sportcast with Easy and Allen at 10 o'clock. That's your Wednesday lineup. Go check out Lenny Melnick, FantasySports.com to see the Legend Sports Network, and check us out at DraftForUpside.com, DRAUGHT, like draft beer, because we are beer guzzling fools. Most nights. Completely and totally sober tonight. Totally disappointing.
It is, but whatever.
Well, I'm gonna take us to a short break here, guys. Play a quick song, go use the restroom, and hopefully catch up with Adam on the backside. So we're gonna take a quick musical break for 3 minutes and 44 seconds. We'll be back on the other side.
What happened?
Didn't you hear? We won. The ink on the page spells out the story of fire and horror, of war and glory. What could children and housewives do? War took their fathers, you poisoned their food. Survivors crawl, writhe in pain as they're bathed in black and rain. wanted more. Never forget what this war has wrought, or how men learn to open the box, or who learn to break the atomic bombs and burn this world with atomic bombs. Make them all! 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and any goes. Open doors, drop the ball.
Oh man, one of my favorite bands, guys. War is Won by Punk Rock Opera. I know that you two can't hear it, but our lovely guests were treated with some classic 80s punk rock. It was an incredible song, really. I'm not going to lie. They're a wonderful band, and I enjoy listening to them.
They are. It's a very good band.
Yes. So we are going to have Adam White joining us shortly. He is on the line listening, but he's driving in his car, so the static's a little loud. So, Mark, why don't you give us the breakdown of this wonderful tournament that is coming up? And by the time we're done with that, Adam should be ready to jump in.
All right. Well, this is the U.S. Open, so another major. This is ran by the USGA, which has some controversy to it. They tend to make the U.S. Open be extremely difficult, and the players complain all the time about it. Now you can look at it both ways, but at the end of the day, the USGA goes out and they modify the course to make it harder on the players. They thicken the rough up, they shrink the fairways down, and they lengthen the course wherever they can. So this is Pebble Beach, so everybody should be fairly familiar with it. We just played it earlier this year for the AT&T. Now the difference is what I said. They're growing the roughs out. They've skinnied up the fairways quite a bit. The greens are tiny at Pebble Beach. They play on the coast, so wind comes into play. And they lengthened out one hole by moving the tee boxes across the street so they could add another 100 yards to it. But for the most part, this is a very short course, so the big bombers aren't necessarily in play for this tournament. You're looking for someone who can hit a fairway, stay in the grass, because if you get to the rough, you're in terrible shape, and you need someone who can use irons very well to get to the greens in regulation. An interesting stat about this tournament at Pebble Beach is 46% is the percentage of greens in regulation. So the majority of players do not make greens in regulation. So another stat that I'll be throwing in, we talked to Adam about this, is shots gained around the green. The people who can chip and putt.